TBTL. Hey there, welcome to another Hey Dummies video. This is the TBTL newsletter video insert where we, the dummies, answer your questions. It's a warm day here in Portland. I'm very excited because I am soon heading off to the Portland Pickles game. I've got my refillable beer bat, like that right there. Only $12 to fill this bad boy back up. And I don't have a Pickles hat, but I do have this Paris Review, which is green and starts with a P. So I figure that should count for something. I gotta make this video quick because my ride is almost here, but we do have a question this week, actually a couple questions from Karen. Karen says, here are some questions you may or may not want to answer. I'll keep listening, even if you never answer them. Well, Karen, you're gonna have to keep listening because you're about to get 2 of them answered, however briefly. Karen wants to know, how did TBTL become such a drop-centric podcast? Was it to emulate another show that you listened to before starting TBTL? Did it start with some special event or moment and then kept snowballing? Karen, it was because I used to be a big fan of a show called The Don and Mike Show out of Washington, D.C., out of WJFK Radio. And I was working maybe in public radio at the time as a producer, but they used to have, it felt to me like, I don't know, a 10 or 11 minute intro, The Don and Mike Show. And it was just full of drops, and each, producer and everyone who would get introduced, there'd be sort of a drop for them. And it just became this whole kind of sonic language to me as a listener, and I loved it. And then the Don and Mike Show ceased operation, and so I felt like it was kind of fair. It was sort of an homage to them and, kind of carrying the torch. So that is how we got started. I think there are still some episodes of the Don and Mike Show that are online. You can probably find them somewhere and definitely check them out. It was a great program, a really, really great radio show that not a ton of people outside of the DC area knew about. And then the other question from Karen that I'm going to answer right after I switch hands. Boy, it's really hard just holding one of these phones like this for too long. The other question from Karen is, can you show us footage of the cats? Maybe Bingo with his zoomies, or Professor Bananas giving you side-eye, or Bubbles' latest antics. Well, Karen, if ever I need to summon Bubbles, I just bring this little magical toy together. Check this out. She's not in here with me, but as soon as this hits the ground, guess who's there? Guess who's there? Bubbles Burbank. And this is what we do. I don't think the footage is going to be particularly compelling. I sit here, I lie on this couch for hours at a time because I'm very lazy, and I just flick this thing back and forth and back. She's of course not being very active right now. She's being very chill, but if we were to be here for hours, she'd start doing some really good jumps. And you know how I knew, by the way, that this was going to be a good toy for her? Because if you look at the packaging, it actually features a cat just like her. It's a Bengal, and it's jumping to grab the little thing. The other thing that we do, sometimes when we're bored around here, is we get this guy, and we put the Mariner games on the radio, and we bounce it, and then Bubbles, who's really more dog than cat, chases it down the hall. And then we throw it, and catch it. Bubs. And she is confused but remains active. So there you go, Karen. An answer to your question as to where all those drops came from and a little bit of gratuitous cat footage. That's this week's Hey Dummies video. Hey, seriously, thank you so much, everyone who supported us during the last TBTL-a-thon. The last TBTL-a-thon, I mean like a week ago TBTL-a-thon. And we really appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing to this new newsletter. Tell your friends about it. This is where all the TBTL fun is now happening and being announced. So thanks for subscribing to it. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon here on Hey Dummies.